Well, what a week. So if we do a live stream tonight, and I'm not saying it's 100% yet, but if we do, it would be the normal time, 8 o'clock, and it would go on until probably about 11 o'clock, where I'm going to go upstairs and watch the rugby. Funny sort of rugby. Mind you, they not fuck out of each other on rugby. So, yeah, watch the boxing. Anyway, what have we had? We've had the Eurovision degeneracy thing go on. We've had Ireland starting to fight back. We've had videos coming out explaining that the population of other than white people in our cities is well over 50% all over, say, for instance, the major cities within Europe. So London and other places, The Hague, all sorts. Anyway, so we now know that replacement is a thing, and we could well talk about that tonight. But what I'm thinking is, by a bit of a change, is you ring in with your news stories to tell me, rather than I go out and dig up a load of news stories, and we'll just literally get on with the call straight away. That could be good. Also, if you've got any funny stories, they're always welcome. Anything that would give us a laugh, we could do with a bit of that. So I'm going to go off and do the rest of my chores today. And as you can see by the eyes, hay fever is beautiful right at the moment. Health. We could talk about that, actually. As you know, at the moment, the mental health and all the rest of it's been better. It's also been worse, much, much worse, so don't worry. And we are getting a hang of it. So I decided to take the plunge and call the old doctors. Not called them for a couple of years. Not actually really had any contact with them for a couple of years because I've been off the medication and I've not wanted to go back for anything else, if you get my meaning. So anyway, I call them up and I get the woman on the end of the phone who was very reasonable. And I told her thought I needed to talk to the doctor about anhedonia plus depression, whatever. Anxiety predominantly, because for years I was on the tablets which dealt with both anxiety and depression. And although, yes, they do leave you a bit dull, I can't say there's a great difference at the moment. Having been off them 2 years is very, very flat. So we'll talk about that in the live stream. You can ask me any questions you want about mental health and I'll answer them honestly. So got in contact, and there were a few other things that I've been putting off for years because that's what blokes do. We will get round to it eventually. Procrastination is one of the things that kills men. But anyway, so yeah, she said, what I'm going to do is refer this to Ask My GP. I'm like, right, whatever that is. And they'll call you back. So I'm expecting a call back 20 minutes, half hour, an hour. And I got a text. We'll call you back. And I think it was about 2 weeks. Now, I'm lucky I've got the Discord community as a group to talk to a lot. And I'm not in a bad way. But what if I was? What if, say, for instance, I was, the S word? Can't say it on here. Like many other words you can't say on here. But what if I was like teetering on the edge? What if I couldn't cope anymore? And we'll call you back in 2 weeks. Well, the person on the other end of the phone, if they were like that, might not actually pick up the phone because they might not be about any longer. I also had a message from a subscriber who I talk to now, which is beneficial to both me and he. And he came to me through PayPal, actually, of all things. That was his way of getting hold of me. And he said to me, I'm desperate. You need to help. They're not going to give me any more medication at all. And he said, they've run out and that's it. Tough. I was like, Jesus, what do I do with this? And so I made a video stating about his cause quite a while back. And now he's not on any benefits. He doesn't receive any help. He works, but he needs this medication to keep him on the straight and narrow because when he doesn't have this medication, he's in a bad way. So due to shortage of medication for whatever reason, and we can speculate as much as we like, but without the basic facts, we can only guess. He went to him and said, by the way, here's a guy that I'm subscribed to. Here's a video he's done about me, and he's following up this story. And if you don't sort yourselves out, he'll be on this and reporting about this. And here's his subscriber set, and here's the views. Within minutes, less than hours, he'd had a phone call that they'd located the tablets, and within the same day, they delivered them round to him. What does that say to you? Now, he's over the moon about this, and I would be over the moon if I needed tablets to keep me on the straight and narrow. I probably do. But I was pleased to have been of some assistance. This isn't the only time, by the way, this channel's been of some assistance. I've had numerous people say that because of what I've explained, or because of me explaining what I'm going through and they can relate to it, or because I put them in touch with friends, or because they now know things that they didn't know before and they thought they were on their own and realized they're not. It's made such an impact to them. It's been life-changing. Now, that's good. That's the whole point of the channel was I thought I was on my own and I said what I was thinking, and then you lot came back in a mass saying, nope, you're not on your own. We feel the same way. And then the community built from there, and now we're a threat. Lots of channels like this that do this are a threat to the mainstream because nobody's believing it. Take, for instance, the last live stream we did. I was getting more views than GB News. Now, GB News is meant to be for us, all right? They're meant to be the opposition to the legacy media. They've got millions of subscribers, and as do the others, but they're not getting the views. Now, I would say, yes, they've got TV, people watch them on, I get that. But regarding YouTube, the engagement isn't there because people don't trust them anymore. And if anybody is from GB News that want to speak to me about this, you crack on. I'm always up to listen or talk. You can come on a live stream. I very much doubt you would. Or you could try and contact me in person. I'm not entirely sure how the best way you would go about doing that. Probably through Facebook Messenger, or say, for instance, go through Discord. But anyway, that's another thing. But I have my views, and I believe it's controlled opposition. So, why do we get more views? Because people see me as an average bloke who thinks or says what he thinks. I may not be right all the time, but I'm coming at it with the best intentions rather than lying. And all this other media is not getting the same amount of contact or connection with yourselves. And the worst of it is that, say, for instance, my small channel only has, is it 13 or 15,000 subscribers? And I'm getting more views than them because you lot just simply don't believe them anymore. When they say there's a shortage of food, we know there's not. When they say there's a shortage of medication, we know there's not. When they say trust this, we know not to. When they say take this, we're dubious. When they say if you don't believe this, you're racist or you're this, we now know they're pushing an agenda. I would say that when you look at the picture that was just released on a slightly different note here of Prince Charles, right? And then you see all of the mainstream film stars, pop stars, mainly the pop stars, coming out in costume that's devil worshipping. When you see our churches kowtowing to LGBT stuff and letting our churches be taken over by Islam, when you see that Islam is now on its movement across the West is uncontrolled, when you see that the people that are there to protect us and give us the news have lied and are actively trying to ruin our future, people are waking up, and they're waking up in their droves. Part of the reason that I can't live stream on this platform, on this particular channel. But we will be going out on Rev on Iran. And at some point, they'll take that away from me there. And at which point, I'll move over to something else, and you'll all come across. Because you lot want to be able to hear the call-in. You want to hear how other people think. You want to hear what I think. You want to be able to tell me what you think. You want to be able to put in the comments and see what the other people say. And as I don't ban any comments that don't say, and you know, they're going to be the ones that are going to say things about doing ridiculous things. And I can't talk about, obviously, but you get the idea. Harry Carey, that kind of behavior, right? I can't, but to be honest, I can't remember the last time I actually took down a comment. I will say that YouTube takes down your comments, but that's a YouTube thing. And in the same way that YouTube unsubscribe you en masse. I mean, how is it this? That if you went back to the beginning of the year, I'm gaining 1,000 subs a day. And now when I release a video like this, you'll see my subs go down to start with. So it's just YouTube doing what YouTube do. And if YouTube are watching, it doesn't bother us. We know what you're doing, and it just confirms everything we say. And it also gives us a warm, fuzzy feeling that we're winning and you're not, and you know it. So that's nice. So anyway, yeah, if I'm live tonight, it'll be at 8 o'clock, and I will put a message out probably about an hour before on the channel here to let you know that I am going live with a link to the live, which will be on Rev on a Rant, okay? It also goes out on Twitter. It goes out on Facebook. It may go out on a few of the YouTube channels. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, you can call in, have your say. Tell us what you're thinking, whatever news you really want us to listen to. any problems that you might have had at getting a doctor's appointment, what you think about the demographical change within Europe. It's not it's not a conspiracy anymore. It's obvious. What do you think about Satanism within the management, if you like? The people that control this country. What do you not trust anymore? But also remember the terms of service of YouTube. I don't set those rules; they do. And remember that when you're calling in, because if you go too far, it could cause problems. All right. So be diplomatic about what you say. Think about what you're saying before you say it. And if you're drunk, don't call in. Just listen. And we might do a Sunday sermon where you've sobered up and we can talk to you then. All right. So there it is. Right. Well, I'm going to finish up and then go about all the jobs that a single bloke holding down a job has to do. So you do your work during the week, and on the weekends, you do the washing, the ironing, not very much of that, the cleaning, the batch cooking, the bulk shop. And then hopefully after all of that, you might get 5 minutes to yourself. But you'll know what that's like. That's another thing we can talk about while we're there, just before that. Dating in the modern world. The impossibility of finding somebody, or it seems like the impossibility of finding somebody who's actually on your wavelength that hasn't been brainwashed by the thing. So yeah, we'll talk about that as well. All right, so be good. I'll see you in a bit.